Hey, what's up everyone? This is Jay Esker and I am back again on Academy FM. Today we're going to be doing a future bass track start to finish. So this is going to be a course and it's going to be a little long, but it's going to be completely worth it. If you don't know what future bass is a subgenre of trap music. Most of the time it has more melodic elements than regular trap. So I'm going to explain you guys some major features. Since if you've seen some of my tutorials or my last course, I always try to explain to you guys that if you understand something, it's easier to make it. So we're gonna try to understand what future bass is, so we can know what we can do to make it sound like future bass. I don't know if I said the same thing twice, but all right. So let's understand it. Let's see the main elements. As I found on Google, it says some major features are stabby chords, so really short chords. Number 2 is chord progression tends to end in group of threes, so that's another thing to keep in mind. And number 3 thing that differentiates future bass from any other genre is that it has a lot of mini sounds such as creaking bed, water droplet, the hey chant, or any chants in general. It has gunshots, etc. It has just like really out of random elements that make future bass what it is. It also has some trap elements and 808 usage, such as hi-hats or snare rolls. A good 808 bass, sub bass, can be orgasmic, as it says over here. So that's something to keep in mind. We need random sounds that sound cool together. We need an 808 because while the name is future bass, it doesn't have to be based on the bass. It can instead focus on the mid end of the spectrum, such as chords. Because, I mean, if you've heard Flume, it's all about like those crunchy mids. Then another thing is trap BPM ranges. It's ranging from 100 to 160 BPM. These are the frequent BPM, but there are some outliers, some people that does it at like 80 or something like that. So the modulations, people usually add some volume or filter modulation in the chords, and bam, the song is future as fuck. That's how it works. So instead of like a sustained chord, it's always on future bass. It's usually like boom or something like that with a filter. So now we know that we need a bass, we need chords, we need filter chords, we need sounds. We need weird sounds like something like that, a fucking gunshot, someone reloading a gun. And then the other thing is, the next thing to differentiate future bass is a good way to differentiate between trap and future bass is by identifying the melody. Usually trap music doesn't focus on melody, while future bass does. So usually, not all the time. As you've heard, like trap, if you hear to like DJ Snake Propaganda, that's, in my opinion, that's trap. And compare it to something like Flume, you'll see the difference. You'll feel the difference completely. Next and last thing, it sometimes has arpeggiated chords. They're commonly used in future bass, but like, I mean, any genre can use arp, so not just this. So just take in consideration all the things I've said, and I'm pretty sure there are more features about future bass, but this is a guideline to understand what we need to have in order to name something future bass. So yeah, let's get into it. First part of the video of this course is we're gonna be doing all the music theory. Let's call it like that. We're gonna be doing the structure of the music theory. So we're gonna be doing all the chords. We're going to be doing all the bass lines. We're going to be doing all the melodies, those extra notes. So yeah, we're going to be doing all the tonal structure. We're going to do everything starting from the drop, intro, outro, breakdowns, and build-ups. However, we're only going to be using a basic sound, such as a piano. That way we know that, imagine, in my opinion, I always tend to work like this. So if a melody sounds good with a shitty sound, it will sound amazing with a really cool sound. So it's something to consider. And I used to, last course I started with drums, but this time we're gonna do all the tonal structure first, just to get you guys out of your comfort zone and work differently. Also myself. So if you've seen some of the other Academy FM tutorials, I don't know when one that I recorded is gonna be out, but it's called templates, and I'm using a template right now where I have an 808 and a reverb and a delay opened, just because I know that trap and future bass are usually doing that. I have this 808 that I'm not going to be using right now. I'm just going to show it to you guys. It sounds like this. It has some fast distortion, parametrics. It has some boosting around the 136 to give it some more punch. It has boost. It's boosted around 40 to give it more lows, and it has a low cut or a high pass. No, yeah, low cut, just to get rid of all the highs that we do not need. Without the effects, it sounds like this, and with the effects, so it really just concentrates the sound. If you want to find this exact same preset, I have it. I mean, exact same sample. It's on your Cymatics Titan pack. As I remember, one shot's 808, and then the E31, which is this one. I thought it was cool, so that's the one I'm using. In order to make it sound like myself, like mine, you go to volume, you take all the hold up, you decrease the release, all the sustain, all the decay, all the attack, everything at 0 except hold all the way up. Make sure this is selected. And also, the thing I forgot, it's activating mono and portamento, just in case you want to go up. You make it more slidey, and that's what we're doing right now. With future bass, a lot of people are just doing sliding and stuff like that. It sounds pretty cool. So let's just ignore that for the moment. Actually, for this one, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be doing a little bit of mixing to everything that I open, just to make it faster and less I don't know, just so you guys don't get just so you guys get an idea of how I work. I'm gonna do this one a little bit different than my last course. So to start off, I tend to add a filter group just to separate all the sounds. I don't like having everything in just one spot. It just makes my mind feel like I have everything badly organized. So let's call this tonal structure. So we're gonna be opening a really cheap sound such as this piano. Yeah, so this is good. We're not gonna do anything to it. No processing, no anything. And we're gonna be doing a melody. We're gonna be doing the chords. Basically, this is what the drop is gonna be. So we're just gonna go straight for it. I usually like to work on, well, supposedly the sub bass, the natural sounding sub bass, is around G. So I tend to work around there to get an idea of to really make that sub bass stand out. It's also very important to pay attention to the feelings that you're trying to give away. So for this example, we're doing future bass. We want to make something sounding future bass, and for that we need 7th chords, we need 9th chords, not just simple basic triplets. And let's do it. So I kind of have this melody in mind. Whenever I make a melody, I tend to use a metronome, just to get an idea of rhythm. So let's just put a note. I really like F sharp, so let's use F sharp. And I've been seeing like the kind of future bass that I like. It's not really like the melodies have some space between them. So let's do that with this one as well. Let's instead of not like that, we're gonna be like actually, yeah, let's do something like that. Okay. Oh. So we're just creating the low notes. Basically, this is gonna be the sub bass or the 808. So now we have the main thing that this is like, we can base a whole track around here, and now that we have it, let's just take advantage of it. Now we duplicate the notes, and now we make a triplet, basic triplet. I don't know if it's gonna be major or minor. I'm trying to check right now. I think I like major. Yeah. Maybe this is gonna be minor. Yeah. So as soon as we add another note, as you can feel, it makes it more future bassy. Instead of a triplet, we add another note. How do I know which note I need to add? I tend to use the same separation that these two notes are 4 notes separated. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I have a triplet, I tend to add a note that it's 1, 2, 3, 4 separated. If it's a minor chord, like this one, 1, 2, we just add 1, 2, 3. And now we have a... Well, let's add this as well. Maybe I would like this more. Yeah, something like that. That sounds more... It has more tension. Also, for future bass, I've noticed that notes in the bass line don't really play around, such comparing it to like future bounds where it goes like... So like future bass is like going up and down, really crazy melodies, but this is more like simple, referring to the progression, so it's easier to hear. Now let's check this other sound. It as you can see, as I'm making the melody, FL Studio, it's automatically highlighting the notes that I can use, so that simplifies your world completely. And I love this about FL Studio, that it's really helpful for even starters or experts. I don't know which I kind of consider myself advanced, but it doesn't matter what level you're in, FL Studio is always going to be helpful. So for example, this dark notes, shadow dark notes, or lines, are the ones that you cannot put a note in, simply because they're not part of the scale. If you want to activate this, go to the arrow over here on the left, top left, go to scale. Go to helpers, now scale, and it says scale highlighting. Make sure you select the automatic. If you have it on default, it won't give you options to work with. As FL Studio has some cool things behind it that help you. I don't know what or how it works, but it works. So for this one, we cannot make it minor. As we can see, it would be like a dark note, so it needs to be major as well. So, ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's the note. That's the note tricks. No, that's not. That's too blues. Alright, so now next, that sounds so interesting as well. Maybe we can even add this. But no, not yet. Okay, this one, let's see what it can be. Can be minor, but not major. Okay, cool. So now this, it can only be major. I don't even have to think about it. I just need to see it, which is cool. Which is what I love about FL Studio. Simplicity. Remember that little trick that I added in one of the tutorials about shortcuts and stuff? If you click Alt and right click, you can hear all the notes you have without having to click here and then play again. You can just right click, left Alt. We need more notes on this. Ooh, actually this sounds pretty nice. The tension on this one, I don't know if it's augmented, just because I added this one a little bit upwards. I don't even know what this is, but just play around with notes. It sounds more sad, kinda. If I add this right here. Oh, that's a good ending. Alright, so now we have the melody. That's pretty cool. We're going to duplicate this just to make it longer. Maybe try to make a change in here. I don't know. Alright, so I want this note. Alright, so we're adding more notes. I don't even know what notes we're using right now. I don't even know if it's just like I don't know. Let's call it like this, maybe like a 9th or 11th even. I don't know. But it sounds cool. Just keep adding notes. If you want to make some unique future bass, something that doesn't sound like everyone else, just play around with notes like we're doing right now. That sounds more complete. And instead of doing A sharp to A, we're gonna be doing C. We're gonna doing C to C normal, C sharp to C. Usually these two notes add tension, like two notes that are together, scale like this notes, or this notes, or this notes. They're so close that they add tension. So for example, if you play D and F, there's no really tension because they're not, I don't know, it's just adds tension. If you want to add tension, play around with, I think they call it half step or something like that. I'm not sure with terms, but yeah. So we got the melody. We want to think about how long the breakdown the intro is gonna be. I would say like 30 seconds. So let's call this. Let's add a time marker. We're gonna add one. It's gonna be called intro because we're making the structure right now. So we need to play around with it. So blah 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 blah. As you can see right here, the time. It's gonna be the intro, and over here it ends. Let's actually add like another thing. Nice. You have so many options. So we're gonna add another one. It's gonna be breakdown, or first breakdown. Oh, what just happened? Oh, I can just add it right here. First breakdown, and then we're gonna give it like the time to go down, and then starting the melody. Actually, let's, yeah. We're gonna add like a melody and then another melody to give it more time, and then the build up over here. We're just we're using our imagination to just create the typical generic structure. I forget words, but I'm just using the same melody for the moment. Don't worry, it's not gonna be the end result. So build up is usually just 2 bars to 8 bars. And then at 45, which is 1 minute and 15, we're going to be doing the drop. The mighty drop. We're going to make this. Actually, I want to change this into line. So we have the melody here. And then again. And then the drop ends. And we can call this part like second breakdown or some. We're gonna add a marker, second breakdown. This is where it's gonna end, and we're gonna add a second breakdown. Usually around here we're gonna add another marker, which is gonna be second drop. I don't know exactly where, but maybe around here. So 2 melodies, then the break, then the second build up, and then the drop. Second build up. So a lot of you are gonna be like, oh, why are you doing this? Like it's like you have some, like you can. Well, that's only why I'm doing it, because we know how music is. You don't want to get too out of the zone of what people are used to listening, because they're not gonna handle it. They're not gonna be able to handle it. So outro now. It's gonna be the outro after 2 bars of this, of the drop. And now we can separate everything. We can now make the melodies, or of the breakdown, and then the build up. So to do that, we're gonna separate all the melodies, and we're gonna simplify some, as the breakdowns are simplifications of the drops. So we're gonna do this real quick. I don't want to make this first video too long, but it's really good to explain. So for the drop, we know that we're gonna be using this. And for the breakdown, actually, I'm gonna disable these vocals that I will show you why they're there later. But not right now. So this is the breakdown. Actually, first breakdown, second breakdown. Let's merge pattern clips, and we're gonna go in. We're gonna click Control A, then Control L, and then Control G. And now all the notes are just one. They merged. Literally all the notes merged. So it sounds like this. Now actually, I want to separate when a bass note comes. So I do want to see longer notes, but not all the time. Only when there's no different all right, let's play this. Nice. So let's cut. So this is the first part of the breakdown, and actually I'm just gonna cut that, and this is gonna be called, like, let's rename it into breakdown melodies. And we're gonna make this even better. We're actually gonna get rid of this part, and we're gonna try to make it more complex. So for a better like, so for example, if someone's gonna be singing, they need a first verse, second verse, chorus, blah blah blah. So we're gonna be naming this like that. Let's make it like first part of breakdown. First part, just first part, and then second part. I have no idea what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna try to do something cool. Second part, utilizing the same parts of the scale, we're gonna be creating a melody that goes with this one. So we're gonna listen to it. Maybe we can start with C. I don't know. Yeah, we're just gonna, I'm just playing with notes, and just to make our music less repetitive, and since Future Bass is all about melodies, we want to make the listeners feel. Maybe we can take it up. Maybe we can make it like that. I'm just trying to come up with a, let's call it the contrast melody. Ooh, that would sound great. So let's just make that for fun. Just like that note, just for more tension. Alright, so that's cool. That's a very cool one. But we don't want it that basic. We want to make it more, I don't know if this is hearable. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so now we make the chords around this part. You guys are going to see the end result. You guys are going to love it. Don't worry. I don't know how it's going to be, but I know you guys are gonna love it. So. So remember to use So we're just adding more notes and notes to make it more interesting, this chords. So I don't know how that's gonna feel, but let's listen to it. Maybe with the thing, just to get an idea. Actually, we're gonna start from the note that we started earlier, to be honest. I don't want to get too crazy, otherwise it's too complicated. We're not gonna make it that complicated in music theory. Oh, we're just gonna make the one over here. Why can I even add that one? It's not even a note. It sounds cool. For C sharp, we don't have any chords yet, so. I want to put this one down here, actually. We need to keep playing around with this to get a good idea of what we want. But it's getting there. It's getting there. So let's listen to it again. By the way, this is a part that takes more time, writing the song. If it can be played good as a as acoustically, just as like an acoustical track, it will be played even better. Like, you're gonna be able to play this on a guitar, like, just, I mean, maybe not because of all the notes, but let's just say you want to do that in a live show or something like that. You're gonna be able because you have the acoustic version. Actually, I'm just gonna keep it that simple. I don't know what notes I can add to this chord. It's really complicated. Adding this E, it's not part of the chord progression or the scale, but I feel like it works. As you can see, that makes it all right. So we finished this part. That's what I had in mind. This is gonna be like a part where someone could sing the first verse and then the chorus. But if you make different, like, longer chord progressions, it makes your music more enjoyable. Like, you can tell a bigger story with this. You can tell a way bigger story. I'm using some notes that were not even part of the scale, but it's not about that. It's not about following all the time rules like we're doing right now. The structure, we're following kind of a rule. Everyone does this structure, but sometimes music is all about the feeling and not the what you should do. It's about what feels right. So in this case, I like this transition. So let's listen to it one more time. And then the transition to the build-up. I'm not gonna make a. I don't have a do. I don't want to make a pitch automation in the chords. Like, I don't have that in mind. Seeing how this track it's working, I don't have that in mind. So I don't really want to do that. I'm gonna make another melody with the same piano, but I'm gonna do an ARP actually, And to do that, you go to FL Studio. You open up. First of all, you clone this. You open it up, and once it's cloned, you won't affect the actual other melody. So there's an option over here on the chords on this arrow over here. You click on it. Then you got some tools over here. There's one called Arpeggiate. I really suggest you guys use it. It will sound like this. Maybe you can make something different. Maybe with chord, maybe like flip. Maybe time. Chord. Block. Alternate. Just play around. Like I say. I actually like the normal one, so I don't know why I was playing it so many times. Now let's see how it would sound. Oof. This is very, I feel like this is very advanced. But it's simply just filling it. It's about filling it. And yeah, so I added that ARP because I know that Future Bass usually uses ARPs. And maybe we can make like, maybe we can, in the drop, we can clone this part, clone the drop melody, clone it on both of them. I'm gonna merge them, and we're gonna make like a fast, like the same chord, like the same tools, using the tools Arpeggiate, but faster. So yeah, just like that, and then one octave higher. So we have that for the breakdown. Now for the build up as well, I'm gonna be adding it some more. I'm just imaginating all the stuff that can be imagined with sounds and with drums and with all that. It's gonna be amazing. So we're just using our imagination. Let's call this to make unique. Let's call it build up. So build up. In the next part of the course, we're gonna be opening all these things and we're gonna be replacing it with actual sounds. So don't feel scared. Nothing bad's gonna happen. The track's not gonna sound like this the whole course. And now let's make this unique as well, just for any problems that we can encounter. Build up ARP. Let's just call it BU ARP. So boo ARP. Now let's name this drop ARP. We're just making all the ideas behind it. What else can it be done? We know basically this is basically all we can do. Maybe we could separate the bass line as well. For this one, we can merge pattern clips, and literally just remove all the chord notes, and we got the bass line now. So we know what the bass line is gonna be. Let's call this breakdown. Rename. Let's call this breakdown bass line. I usually do this to literally, if you do this, trust me, you're gonna work faster simply because right now we're only producing. We're literally producing. We're creating. We're not doing any technical aspects, which in my opinion really slow me down. We're only making whatever we need to do right now, and then we can go full into the technical aspects. And trust me, the difference like the amount of effort you put into your actual creation of your song really makes a difference. A lot of people try to do both at the same time. It might work for you. It kind of works for me because I do it like that. But when I make like a good draft, there's nothing I can do that will make my final result sound bad, to be honest. So we have that now. Maybe we can separate the drop bass line in order to clone this ones and then merge them. Merge pattern clips. We're gonna rename this as drop bassline, drop 808. Oh, not 666. 808. Nice. Now we just cut these parts that we don't need. But we open it and we get rid of all the lows, all the highs. I mean, and only the. We're only gonna be using the low parts. So now we're getting an idea of how it's gonna sound, right? And this is actually a really cheap sounding piano, so imagine with a good piano or something like that. Oh, that would make a really huge difference. So this is it for the tonal structure. Maybe in the breakdown we're gonna be adding this, or maybe we're gonna be adding this, but like let's just add it for fun. Maybe it's just gonna be added like, and we're gonna be filtering. We're gonna be filtering that or something. Excuse the vocals. I'm gonna show you why I have that open later. Yeah, maybe we can do that for the outro as well, like just the ARP, this part, and that's it. Yeah, we got the space, we got all the things. Maybe we can use some of the drop in the drop 808 in the intro. Maybe just like the first notes of every 4 bars. No, every 8 bars. I don't know, but just every 9. Yeah, every 4 bars on the outro as well. And what else could we even do to this? Maybe add like a. Maybe we're gonna add a melody, maybe. Actually, what I want you to like imagine is that we're gonna be future bass. It's not really a good future bass without vocals. Vocals are really what you need in order to make it more Illenium kind of thing, or more commercial, if you want to call it like that. So this is perfect for someone to sing on top. It's basic. I mean, basic enough referring to sounds. It's not a million sounds. They're all really harmonic between each other. It's a really good transition and everything. So this is great. This is gonna be a great starting point. Now we have the structure, and in the next video of this course, we're gonna be talking about the drum structure. So all the rhythm behind the track and all the grooveness. So see you guys on the next part of the course.